Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video of Thunderstone Quest, the core game. This is a Kickstarter-backed game, and I backed it with their second Kickstart. Funny story, my best friend got me this for Christmas, and I didn't realize they got me it because it wasn't wrapped up or anything. Not that I'm a big fan of wrapping paper or even the plastic for this stuff. And I'm like, oh, hey, you bought Thunderstone Quest, not even realizing it was the holidays. Starts handing it, it's like, oh, I already own this. Sorry. Regardless, we have played that copy, so I have actually seen the inside of this game, but I have not seen the inside of the other box that came with the Kickstarter, which will be a whole nother video, as that's all the expansions. Like I said at the very beginning, this is just the core game. This is basically a more detailed and streamlined version of Thunderstone, with a more emphasis on the dungeon / cave, whatever it was called. The thing where you went to go fight the monsters. The village is more detailed and has a board in itself, not just to place cards, and you get miniatures. Although, contrary to why I get a lot of games, the miniatures are not why I got this. I'm actually a huge fan of Thunderstone. The original one is right there with the first two expansions, and I never got a chance to really get any more after that. Alright, so first off, we've got a rulebook. Also, this does have a campaign mode as well, I believe, and that is a bigger draw to me than actually miniatures. And I say that because the next thing is the quest book. So, two really big books. There's actually ribbons to pull out trays, because this is actually a pretty detailed box. But first, we've got the board, which makes a pretty big difference. It is a double-sided board. I don't even remember which side is which, but one is a simplified version, and another one is, well, not. And this is the simplified version, because it has names on, recommended things for those slots. Kind of like how they forced, or at least I remember that, forced, of course, because it is a board game, for Thunderstone Advance, which is basically Thunderstone's 2nd edition. Then there are actual cardboard boards for all the players and their organization. Summaries, places to put literally your deck, your discard, and they fold up nice in half for storage, although they don't feel like they're folding too nice. My friend's copy definitely folded better, and they were stored in here flat, so that's a little odd. Then we've got the miniatures. Normally I save this for last, but there's only 6 of them. And they are of, I think, various classes, or character class heroes. But really, they are your hero, because the way Thunderstone works gameplay-wise is you are a hero that is recruiting a party. The cards don't represent you. They might represent stuff you have and can do. But at the end of the day, you either pass or fail. You don't have a health pool. You either go back with stuff or you don't. Warrior counting. A dwarf. Kind of looks like a pig dude, but he's just got a pig hat on. As in skin pig head. Lore, probably. Rogue. Stealthy person. Stab stab. A tiny sorcerer wizard kind of character. The last one I think was more of an elf, maybe just a small human female, and another small character, but more looked like a tracker / camper, with a set of pipes half as tall as them. Yeah, regardless. Then we've got some really nice D6s. They are individually numbered. There's 5 of them in total. A bunch of tokens. Wooden tokens at that. Again, I always like wooden tokens. But they represent things like damage, because this time around you do actually have damage now that I think about it. And it's just It's stuff you can heal, but you also take drawbacks as you get more. Lanterns for a light source. A potion of some sort that I don't remember. Bread, or iron ration. These three being some of the basic resources you get in the game. Thunderstone icons, representing XP, just like they did in the card game. And I believe these are just supposed to be 10-pointer ones. Now, a funny thing about Thunderstone, the game, any version, the Thunderstone is not the goal. Like, the person who gets the Thunderstone is not the winner. It is just triggers the end. And bonus points. So, here's where the meat of the game is outside of the cards, because this is still a deck builder. Various dungeon tiles. I'm not even going to go through all these. I'll name a couple off, but, like, we've got a bog, a sunken garden, a lich's tomb, blood altar room, and it just keeps going, like air temple, fire temple, earth temple. Hey, where's the water temple? Abyssal temple, that's not water. And then more, just as many as I had picked up before, or one more. And a general starting location, like this is the clearing and everything, aka poke this when you have a bad hand. But yeah, that's all of those. And then expansions come with more of those, making the game so this one is far more modular, because it's not just the cards. It's also the board itself. Then it comes with, I don't know if these are meant to be trays or if they're meant to just be things to hold things in place, because they're in here nice and packed. I used them as trays with my friend's copy. But yeah, the rest of the box is just spaces for cards and cards. Some of these I will not be going over because they are the story elements, not the starter elements. And yeah, again, this game has a campaign element. But first off, we've got. Let me try to get all these out because they pack these in here real well, which I appreciate, rather than just let's keep stuff floating around. We've got dividers. I'm not even going to open these right now because honestly, these are for just every type of card. In some cases, individual sets of cards, like two-handed sword. It's not two-handed swords. Two-handed sword is a card. And then there's so many of them. Because that's the way Thunderstone works. Again, it's a deck builder. But for example, blatantly says, at the foundations of the world, 3. As in, it's meant to be the third pack within that whole thing. In fact, that whole side, or the whole side that's closer to the camera right now, yeah, that looks like that is all just story decks. And then, kind of like they did with Fog of Love, they make it real clear which ones are the right ones to use, although those were tutorial decks. So, this is Basic Cards 1. I don't exactly remember what's in here. So, just the basic stuff alone, not like basic card, but just the non-story stuff alone, you can still play a really fun game. Kind of like Pandemic Legacy, with no spoilers here. If you don't get into the Legacy part of the game, you have a copy of Pandemic you could just play. These were something that were new to the Thunderstone game itself that I remember. There were a bunch of side quests, so they were, I think you got 3 of these, and you could either finish 1, or, yeah, I think it was you got 3 cards and could finish 1. And they were all worth points or got you rewards. My friend, our first game, got a really iffy one. Then the keys, which I believe were being used as a counter to progress the game. And then you got to choose a guild sort of thing, like the Healer's Order, the Warrior's Guild, the Thieves Guild, the Mages Guild, and there's multiple copies of each of these, so even if you play up to, I think it's 4 players, you won't have any issues. I believe the game should play up to 6, but that might require expansions. But there were basic bonuses that were, I want to focus more on this class type. Not so you would get more benefits for playing that. Then we got Adventurers, which were our replacements to the Militia. And they kind of function the same, except, yeah, I think they're actually the same. So, Basic Goon. And then it goes into Basic Cards 3. Oh, this one's got a very clear pull tab. Oh, in fact, here was that card that they got. Alpha Prince. But a lot of these are some of the reward cards or various different things. Like, this set here is the reward cards for the quests, I believe. Or it's just a lot of vampire stuff. I don't really remember. And the Wand of Wander, Orb of Light, Balak's Hand. That's a dried up hand turned into a wand. Margwyn's Axe, Dancing Sword, Blood Drinker. Yum, yum, yum. Choppy, choppy. And then we get into some more things that could show up in the shop, I believe. We've got Butterfly. Also, the art definitely improved, and that's saying something between regular Thunderstone, Advanced Thunderstone, and then more so Thunderstone Quest. Then we've got Festering Wounds, which basically are just deck cloggers. Now Basic Cards 2. 2, 3, 1. Numbers! Numbers! We've got some more Adventurers. Daggers being the baseline weapon, just like they have been for every version, I believe. Lanterns, because light is necessary to do things, because dungeons are dark. Thunderstone Shards were a new type of item, I believe, and they were basically just, if you're wounded, draw a card, but were also worth something. Not only are they worth money, I don't remember what this green icon was. I think it might have been plus strength. I think so. Then we've got some more medium level rewards, I believe. Like the Apothecary, Wandering Healer, Guardsman, Possessed Elf, Grongnar, who I believe I got to use in my game, and Lurker. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. There are treasure cards that you can draw from. They definitely expanded on this a lot. And yeah, these are all, like, unique cards. Yeah, this is the treasure deck. And then generic treasure cache being the last few cards. Whew. Mirror in the Dark. Right. So, I know one of these sets is not story-based. And is it... I think it's these. So, more than half of those are still story-based. I'm gonna double-check these real quick. And we never got to play into the story stuff. We played this once, and then it kind of just sat there. I've been trying to get it to the table occasionally, but not trying too hard. Regardless. Not counting story stuff, 2 more packs. And then there's a lot of story pack stuff. If people would like me to go over those, I'd first like to get permission from the company to be able to show off their stuff in more detail. But if they're okay with that, and I have yet to find a company that isn't, yeah, I'll go over that. Just ask. Same thing if you want me to go over the other cards in detail. Yeah, these are some of the enemies. It looks like these are the Black... Oh, okay, that's what it is. These are the Black Rook Bandits. So, various bandit-y things. Almost all the characters are wearing masks. And then we've got a randomizer. There are randomizers all over the place. There's supposed to be a randomizer deck. In fact, that might be literally this. So, I can actually just... That's not right. Yeah, this isn't organized too well. So we got some randomizers here. I'm just going to get those out of the way because I should end up covering all those. But we've got one of our first hero, Edelin, which is supposed to be a title. These aren't supposed to be specific characters for the generic classes. Then we've got an item of psionic annals. Or sonic annals, I don't know. It was with an S, not a P. Dark Fire Touch being a spell. Then we've got a rapier. Another treasure card in the middle. There's a lot of those. And then Outlanders. Or Outlands. I don't know why they're not called Outlanders. Which are the start of this pack. Yeah, so I recall the book instructing to, like, your first playthrough, open these for, like, which started out the generic cards, and I don't remember what those are. So there's the rest of the Outlands, then they're called Outlands, not Outlanders. Then we've got the Stalker. The image is the same all the way back. The name sometimes changes, but the stats always change, be it what they do in general or not. The Yellow Knight. And that's only with the heroes. The items and stuff, they're the same for every copy. Necklace of Dawn. Sounds like something that would be more unique. Form of the Juggernaut. That's a spell. Not that, you're restricted to one or spells or not spells. And then we got some hand axes for some semi-basic weapons. Alright, after some quick consulting with the rulebook, yeah, there was a set of these that you're supposed to open up as your first time playing, whether or not you're doing the baseline story, and it is a Mirror in Darkness. So let's find those real quick. There should be 3 of them. Ripples in Time. I think there's 3 of each of these. A Mirror in the Dark. And while I'm at it, what are the other 3 called? We've got Tome of the Eclipse, or Total Eclipse of the Sun. Rise from the Mire. And, oh yeah, I read that one earlier. At the Foundation of the World. Ooh, I keep thinking there's a pull tab. No reason to potentially accidentally, nick my cards. As I say that, I can't find it. So, Shark Thing! Yay. Stabbage. Stop. So, yeah, all of these, I think, come with positive cards and negative cards. It's like as if they're their own expansion to open up. And so when you buy this, you get the core game, which is a Mirror in the Dark, and 4 expansions, kinda. And it is almost the quantity of an expansion. Like, a core game might be 2 or 3 with the basics, but yeah, the expansions sometimes weren't that big, but sometimes they were really big. So, we've got the Shmogar Queen, who I believe was the end boss, and on the other side, she's got Giant Rat, which I believe was, whichever versions you're not using, use the other side as the generic monster. Cobalt Skirmisher, Goblin Grunt, Hobgoblin Brutes, Spider Terror, it's giant ass spider. Ancient Adventurers, undead things. Goblin King Guard, Goblin Shaman, Goblin Potion Tester. That looks like they've tested one too many potions. Goblin Etten. That just sounds awkward. Like, I get the 2-headed part, but Goblin small. Etten really big. Goblin Berserker. And then we get into some kobolds with a Cobalt Grunt, a Snatcher, Warrior, Shaman, Hero. Got a nice crown and everything. I'm guessing Cobalt Hero is just, I got the better loot. Some more Hobgoblin Lieutenants. I think... Okay, yeah. So those first 6 I listed off are the randomizers. And now we're into Hobgoblins. Lieutenant, Sergeant, Scrapper, Dire Wolf Rider. That's a big freaking wolf. Wolf Master. Then into the spiders. Trapdoor Spider. Sword Spider. We didn't play with these, that's for sure. I would have remembered. Phase Spider. Wow, that looks awesome. Oops. Cankerous Spider. Demon Spider. Not just a spider. A Demon Spider! Then some Undead from Ancient Adventurers. Samuel the Cleric. Venick the Rogue. There seems to be 2 copies of each of these. Lib the Fighter. Karthus the Sorcerer. Afrena the Ranger. And then some elementals and stuff. Stone Giants. Bugbear Elites. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Goblin something. Goblin Queen. Goblin King. And then on to some heroes. This looks like they're randomizers. Yes. So I'm just going to read these ones off. Because, again, it will be the same ones through their entire deck, just different stats. Gorlandor? Sounds like something out of Dressrosa from One Piece. Or at least how the dwarves refer to people. Stormhand. Speaking of dwarves. Hawkswood. Harpy-like creature. Peloria. Definitely looks like pre-mind-breaking Jaina. Silverhelm. I think another dwarf. Scythian. Rogue Wizard. Stabby. And then we get into some of the items. Still there, randomizers. The Amulet of Ifravision. Gem of Healing. Tome of Knowledge. Good old Fireball. Classic from the original. Future Vision. Magic Missile. Moonlight. Hammer. Maul. Short Bow. Short Spear. Short Sword. Short. And then looks like we start getting into the heroes proper. So my guess is the rest of these packs are just those cards proper. This time I'll go with 2 intentionally. Yep, just continues with the rest of them. So just go through this real quickly and I'll point out anything past that. Magic Missile was a surprise addition, honestly. You know, it's like, okay, so the basic D&D spell. Also, I don't remember what the die is for. Like, this isn't a dice rolling game. I know some cards modify this based on the dice results for this, and that was new to this, to my knowledge. And then just a continuation of that so far. Yep, with a few more treasure cards, like the Stormland Mirror and some other treasure caches adding to the original pile, all the way in the back. And that's everything, minus stuff that would be spoilers. Regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, please share this video. Either way, you'll help this video get seen more. If you didn't like this video, go on and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please do leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, feel free to comment in general, such as, do you want to see this in more details? Do you want to hear a review? Do you want me to do a how to play video? Or do you want me to paint those models? Which, inherently, I'm not going to. At least not anytime soon. I have so many other things to paint. But if people want to see them painted, sure, why not? And if you want to see more like this, be it more unboxing videos, my board game overviews, or my painting videos, and anything else that I do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.